Am I the asshole for letting my brother, who I've raised since he was an infant, call me mom? Apologies if I am not using this correctly. I have never used this app before. Lol. I, 29 female, have a very shitty home life. My mother died when I was 8 and my father has been horribly absent since then. I have 3 younger brothers, 26 male, 22 male and 17 male, but this will be mainly about my 17-year-old brother. Once my mother died, I started raising my 2 younger brothers and did literally 95% of the work. The only thing my father did was give me money weekly for me to buy food and other necessities for us 3. When I was 13, my dad brought home my youngest brother who was a few months old. I didn't know he existed, much less that my father was seeing someone. Me and my father had a horrible fight that night and we have rarely ever talked since then. Now, I 100% raised all 3 of my brothers. But with my eldest brother, let's call him Jake, he remembered a life before our mother died for the longest bit. He resented me his whole life, the classic, "you're not my mom" shit, when he was junior high age. So I never viewed him in a son role and he most definitely never viewed me in a motherly role. With my middle brother, let's call him Sam, he was a baby when our mother died. As he grew up he would occasionally call me mom, but I would shut it down mostly and remind him of our mother and that I am just sissy. He definitely viewed me more in a motherly role than Jake did, but he still viewed me as a sister. With my youngest brother, however, let's call him Henry. He 100% views me as a mom and I look at him as my son. I know I am not his mom, but I know absolutely nothing about her. I have her first and last name but cannot find anything about her anywhere. When he was young and started calling me mom, I would try to remind him that I am not his mom, I am his sister. But after a bit I just gave up. Now here's the issue at hand. I was on my break at work yesterday and I texted the group chat with my husband, 30 male, daughter, 10 female, and Henry, asking what they wanted for dinner and what they wanted picked up from the store. Henry texted, "Just some chips, thanks mom," slightly smiling face, and I thought nothing of it. Then my coworker, 24 female, looked over my shoulder and found it very strange that my brother was calling me mom. I would say that me and this coworker are decent friends. We've gotten drinks a few times after work and I've talked to her a bit about my family life. I tried to explain to her yesterday our situation and how I've raised him since he was 3 months old, but she just didn't budge. She then went around our job telling others that my brother calls me mom. I really don't understand why this is an issue and why other coworkers are picking sides, but I would say 60% of the people she has told agree and think my brother calling me mom is strange, while the others just don't give a fuck, which, fair. I'm just simply not understanding the issue to this and I'm genuinely wanting talks, opinions. Lol. Apologies if this is all gambled and messy. It's currently 6 AM and I have just woken but had to get this off my mind. Thanks internet. Not the asshole. Your co-workers are idiots. He was given to you when he was a few months old. You were the mother figure in his whole aware life. Other than the fact he is your half-brother on paper, you are in fact his mom. He cried to you at night, got comfort from you, was fed and cleaned by you. He know no other parent other than you. Can I just add that people like you are so aspiring to me. The amount of strength and self-sacrificing that were needed to raise your brothers is insane by every measure, and only a woman of steel can pull this off. Live happy and prosper. Not the asshole. It's none of your co-workers' business what your brother calls you. The only people whose opinion matters are the involved parties, you, your brother and the rest of your family. Not the asshole. It's a massive compliment to your ability to raise your brother, that he's comfortable giving you the title, for the position you fill in his life. I called several people uncle and auntie growing up, but they weren't real family, they were my parents' friends. They treated us like we were their real nephew and nieces, so deserved the title. No one but you and your brother have a right to have an opinion about what he calls you. It's awesome that he feels that way about you. Ignore the cruel remarks, and keep being the best mom that you can, to your daughter, and your brother XX, wishing you and your family a wonderful Christmas XXX. Not the asshole. Does your coworkers also go to foster kids and adopted kids and complains about them calling their, not bio parents, mom or dad? That's just stupid. You raised him. You are his mother, much more than the women that birthed him. I think your coworker just can't wrap her head around how you were able to raise 3 kids at such a young age, because she would not have been able to do that. Tell her to shut the fuck up until she has walked in your shoes. Not the asshole. Your coworker is an ass. People with good home lives can never understand what you went through. Most kids are selfish, because they are kids, and would not step up like you did. He sees you as his mom and you gave him something you never had. Good for you. Not the asshole. Your coworker shouldn't be looking at your texts anyway. It's just an invasion of privacy and it has nothing to do with them. Just ignore the people. Slightly smiling face. Am I the asshole? My kid wants me to drive 3 hours a day taking them to, from work. I said no. My 20-year-old child was offered a job 45 minutes from our house. They have no driver's license yet and a car that was given to them, but they do not drive due to having no license. They were just offered a job at a location 45 minutes from our house. Taking them to, from work every day would take me 3 hours. I work from home and I have responsibilities. Also, I just do not want to drive for 3 hours every day. I wouldn't do that for any job. My kid says I should be supportive and drive them, but I am just not going to do it. I told them that this was an unreasonable request, and I'd be willing to do one trip, 1.5 hours, only. There isn't run public transportation here either. Am I the asshole? Edit. I use the words child and kid because they are non-binary, not because I am implying that they are not an adult. No, why did they even apply if they didn't know how to drive and couldn't get there? Not the asshole. Unless you gave a card to a kid without a license. If it were 20 minutes away, give the kid a lift. Get yourself a nice coffee or a breakfast and start the day slow. But 45 each way? Hell no. Not the asshole. Pose these questions to your adult dependent. 1. What is your backup plan if I am too sick to get out of bed? 2. What are you going to do if I have a work meeting that starts at the beginning of your shift? 3. Do you expect me to never go on work trips or vacations ever again? Remind them that they have a car sitting in the driveway and they are old enough to go to the DMV alone. Info. So why don't they go get their license? Lol, of course not the asshole. That's an insane request. Even one way. What a waste of time, gasp Carware. This is just not a job your kid can accept. Not the asshole. I will not spend 3 hours out of my day driving you to and from work. I will help you get a driver's license. Am I the asshole for choosing a lunch I liked instead of one my family could enjoy? So I, 14F, had my end-of-year prize giving today. I got a few awards and my parents said they were going to take me out to lunch to celebrate. They said I could pick any place I wanted, and I asked to get fish and chips and take it down to the beach, which is a 20-minute drive away. They were a bit surprised, and my mum asked me if that was what I really wanted. I said yes, because that's my favorite food and the fish and chip place just has some dingy wooden tables. My dad didn't care, because he loves fish and chips, but my mum doesn't. When we order it she usually gets something else, which I know. She may have also been tired after a 3-hour prize giving and she doesn't really like the beach. I honestly wasn't thinking about any of that when I decided, just what I wanted to do. She ordered some sushi and Coke instead, which we picked up on the way. We went back to our house to pick up our dog. He is a big beach fan, and my mum was stressed that we didn't have sunscreen or hats. We did, but we hadn't pre-packed them because I had no idea this was going to happen. She said it was cold at the beach and didn't talk to me very much. I can tell this wasn't what she wanted, and I feel really guilty for spoiling what could have been a fun treat. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You're old enough to make your own decisions. Your mom sounds selfish. What's a prize giving? Not the asshole. It was your celebration, and your parents said you could pick the place. Your mom's reaction seems more about her own preferences. She could have communicated her feelings or helped find a compromise if she truly couldn't enjoy the outing. And feeling guilty shows you care about her feelings, which is sweet. Don't feel bad. Your mom got her sushi and you got your fish and chips at the beach. Try not to sour your great day with dwelling on your mom's feelings. I'm sure she was happy even if tired. Not the asshole. Your mother should know when not to be selfish. Nah, your mom would have said no and told you to pick somewhere else if she didn't want you to have your choice. So even though she doesn't enjoy those things and wasn't very good at hiding it, she went along with it because she loves you. Don't feel guilty, as that defeats the object of her going along with it. Instead, remember how much you enjoyed the food on the beach and how much your parents want to make you happy. Make it the good memory it should be. Nah, you picked something you liked when you were asked, no problems there. That said, while you picked up on that she inwardly wasn't pleased with the choice and was also probably a bit stressed, she didn't bite off your head either. I mean, it happens. Sometimes someone makes a choice and you try to not to let your disappointment show or spoil the mood, but people can tell anyway. I don't think your mom is an asshole for not being able to hide it better. Am I the asshole for telling a family friend something explicit she once told me, but in front of everyone? A couple years ago when I turned 18, I started transitioning, FTM, and my mom and our family friends kind of lost it, with this one lady Sarah, 60-ish, pulling me aside at a lunch and making me cry, saying I was going to end up dead in a ditch and I was better off doing heroin, and that I'd spend the rest of my life taking it up the ass from gay men. I cut her off and went to college, haven't seen her much since then. Recently, I've grown my hair out and started expressing myself more femininely. I'm still queer, just more comfortable in my identity and I like how I look this way. I'm home for the holidays and my family and Sarah's had a dinner together, And while we were setting up she came over smiling and said she was so grateful to see I'd come to my senses and stop with the trans stuff. I told her, not yelling, but in a clear voice that everyone nearby could hear if they were listening, "Oh no, Sarah. I'm still fucking gay men in the ass. Go find someone else to be the daughter you never had. She has 3 sons. She made this angry noise, said, "How fucking dare you," and stormed off. 2 sons, the husband and my mom heard. Nobody in her family, husband or sons, knows what happened when I was 18 because I didn't make a big deal of it at the time. They just know we had a falling out. My mom forgave her because they're best friends. But no, the secret's out, and when one of her sons asked what the hell that was, I told him. So now her family's mad at her too, but my mom's mad at me for dredging up old stuff and being both inappropriate and rude. But I think fighting fire with fire is fine, especially considering she never actually listened to me, just shoved her opinions on me. But am I the asshole? It might have been uncalled for, and now I've started stuff between Sarah and her sons. Not the asshole. The fact she said such a horrible thing alone with your mom forgiving her is ridiculous. Bit the utter audacity for her to walk up to you smiling with the new added comment of how glad it was you changed your mind, as if it was something wrong with you showed she deserved every bit of the hate and fallout. You need to sadly make a stand with your mom. She needs to either support you, her child, or understand she risks losing you by supporting and defending such a vile person she wants to even call a friend. Not only are you not the asshole, but you're also a bloody hero. Sarah definitely deserved that. Not the asshole. I'm done coddling bigots. Not the asshole. She fucked around and the finding out part has just happened. Maybe ask your mom if she agrees with her friend, specifically on the gay men part and the you die in a ditch thing. Or the heroin part for that matter. Because obviously her friend hadn't moved on about something that is not her concern to begin with, and you are done to be expected to be the bigger person or whatever. She wants to dish out? Well, then maybe she should learn to swallow too, right? OMFG. Sue, not the asshole. You owned it, less than moi. Not the asshole. And brought it on herself by not treating you with respect.